Now that we're familiar with Styles catalog, let's create a new style and see how we can create a style and the items that belong to that style from scratch. Now, if you look down here, I can see that currently I have 17 styles in my style catalog. If I come up to this button over here that has a plus sign, I can add a new register. I see down here that I am now on register 18. So the first thing I can do is add a photo to my new style. If I double click on the photo field area, get our little expert image program. Now here I have two choices. With a coin, I can download directly a photo from my digital camera, or with the file button, I can choose a photo I already have on a file. Now we can use the standard formats of a JPEG, GIF, .gif, or a bitmap. So I can select a certain photo there, and easy as that, I have the photo now belonging to this style. Now, what's important here is that the photo it now belongs to is now in the same database, right? It's all one big file. If I were to delete the original file that this photo came from, right, I wouldn't lose the photo. This isn't pointing towards a file with a photo or associated with a different file. In other words, my data isn't in 40 different files. It's in a single database file, which makes the system a lot more stable. Now, if I change my mind about the photo, I can double click and once again open Expert Image and clear and go back and choose a new photo and say, for example, I want to choose that photo. Okay. We can give the style a name. We can say this will be the Maryland heel or platform, and I can give this a purchase description. Perhaps my vendor knows this shoe as 450609. I can give this shoe a description: elegant and sexy evening sandal for those nights you need to impress. And this description can be as long as I want it to be. Let's give this this style a cost. Let's say this shoe cost me $8, and I want to sell the shoe at $29.99. Now later on we'll see that XpertMart does have a rounding tool, so that if I want all my prices to end in 99 or 95, I can just type in 30 and it'll round down to $29.99. And I see that gives me a pretty hefty margin of 73%, or $21.99. So let's bring this down and sell this for $24.99. Maybe I'll sell more that way. Okay, this box right here is very important. If I check this box, this is the price and cost to item box. It means that all of the items belonging to this style will have the same price and the same cost. If I don't check this box, then I have to assign a price and a cost individually to every one of my items. Now this is just a time saver if I know that I'll have the same price and cost. Alternatively, sometimes I want a different price and cost. For example, sometimes larger sizes will have a different cost, so I want to sell them for a bit more, or a particular color. I can do that. I can have different prices and costs within the same style. And we also have a global find and replace tool that can make those kind of changes a lot faster for us. Okay, this we need a tax type for this. Let's say we'll use the Canadian GST tax. We need department. So let's see what department we have here. This is a woman's shoe formal sandal or dress sandal. Let's look at our vendors and assign a vendor to this style. Now if I don't see the vendor that I want, this zoom button, I can open my vendors catalog and create a new vendor. I can see which vendors I have currently in my catalog. Or with this button, the one with the plus sign, the same button we use to create a new style, we can use to create a new vendor. And note that I'm doing this without ever exiting from my styles catalog. So let's say that our vendor is Fashions Unlimited, and my contact there is Catherine Rogers, and they're at 4400 West 92nd Avenue, Miami, Florida 33166, and I can fill in all sorts of information, including a phone number. I can put in the email, and I can say email is Catherine@fashions.com, And with this button over here, it's a topic, but we have an integrated email system, so if I need to send an email to any one of my vendors or customers or employees, I can do that directly through XpertMart. I can also associate this vendor with a certain region and a certain type. I can see competitive price, last resort, preferred, second best, and say this is a preferred vendor. All of these catalogs are open and definable. And again, it's just a different way that I can understand my business. I can see how my preferred vendors are doing against my competitive price vendors, for example. With this button right here, I can save the change. And once I've done that, when I exit my vendors catalog, easy as that, I've created a new vendor, and this file belongs to that vendor. Options unlimited. Same thing with brands. With a zoom button, we can open the brands that we currently have in this catalog, and we can associate this style with a particular brand. We can associate this with a particular collection. We'll say it belongs to our Party Girl collection. Materials, we can see what materials we have, and we can say that this is a leather sandal. And seasons, you can see I have fall, spring, summer, spring. I can create a new season and call this right there. Let's use the summer 2000 season. Okay, so we have to save our changes. So if we have most of the information we need for this style, now we need to define the matrix. In other words, what items and colors do I have this style in? To do that, let's go back to our size catalog. If I open that up over here, notice that blinking XpertMart icon. That is, you can put your own store icon or logo there in that space. See here all the sizes that I have in my catalog. I have all 18 sizes currently in my catalog. And I can look at my colors and see, coincidentally, I also have 18 colors in my catalog, and I'm looking at them now. Blue, burgundy, olive, bone, pearl. Let's create a new color, and let's call this color light magenta. If you notice, the field that's in red, all fields in red that have a red description are mandatory fields. Everything else is optional. So we've just created the color light magenta. If we save that, and we can create what we call style matrix or a style run, which is a predefined style run. Saves us time later on inputting. I see I have 5 to 10, 6 to 10, 6 to 10 with halves. And the French size run, I can create a new size run. Let's call one the continental size run. Okay. Now with this tool over here, I can assign which sizes belong to this size run. If I see on the left, I have every size that exists in my size catalog. Right. And if I start assigning and I say the continental size run runs from size 7, I start assigning sizes there, 7.5, 8, 8.5. I can also do it in blocks. I say it runs from size 7 to size 13. And when I assign that there, I see that it's created my matrix down there. I can also come back and I can remove styles and say I don't want size 13 or size 12.5, and it adjusts my matrix accordingly. I can save that change there. I can also come back and say that I want my size run to go from, I can keep editing this, I can unassign 7 and say that the continental size run will run from size 9 to size 14. So I've got from size 9, and I need 12.5 here, and I need 13. Now I notice that I don't have size 13.5 for size 14. So what I can do is save my matrix so far, come back to my size catalog, and add those two sizes with the same button that we've seen already, the one with a plus sign. I can add size 13.5, and I can add size 14. And now I come back to my size matrix, And I see that those are now options down there that I didn't have before. So I can add size 13.5 and size 14. And I see now that my style run goes from size 9 to size 14. OK, and I save that. I'm now ready to create my matrix. I come back to my styles catalog. We know that with this button I can see the matrix. With this button that has the same button but with a plus sign, I can create my matrix for the first time. Now on the left side are every color that exists in my colors catalog, including light magenta, the one that we just created a moment ago. Sorry about that. I first have to choose my size matrix. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, I see here are all of the size matrix that are in my size matrix catalog, including the one I just created, the continental size run. So once I create a size matrix, and I can have second sizes optional if I want to do narrow or wide, for example. But let's just stick to one size right now. Now, if I go, now we're ready to go to the matrix add. If I add a color, for example, light magenta, now I see that the sizes appear along the bottom there, and these are the ones that correspond to the size matrix I've chosen. Now I chose the continental size run, which you recall goes from size 9 to size 4, and I'm seeing that now. There's size 9, and it goes to size 14. And let's say I also have this in olive color, and I have this in blue. So there are the options I have. I can also unassign a color. I can say I do not have this in olive. I have this in raisin. And so I see the combinations there of colors and sizes. Now the size of this field is configurable. If I have long color names, I can make that column longer. Now every one of these checkboxes is an item that is a size and color combination. Here I define what items I have belonging to this style. I have this in these three colors, and I can select what sizes I have this style in. So as I select there, every one of these checkboxes will be a new entry or new registry in my items catalog. So I can say that in blue I have this in every size. Come over here. But in light magenta and raisin I only have up to size 12. Once I press OK, these items will be created in the items catalog, and it'll take just a moment to do that. A lot of items I just created. Okay, we're done there. Now we can go and open our items catalog. And if we do a query, I can do a query by style name. Let's look for the Maryland style, which is the one that we just created. And I scroll down and find Maryland, and with a magnifying glass I say find all the Maryland styles, and XpertMart is telling me that out of 440 items in my items catalog, 25 belong to the Maryland style, and there they are. This is a blue size 9, blue 9.5, blue 10, blue 10.5, blue 11, so on all the way up to size 14, and then I have this in light magenta, and this should go up to size 12. And then I have this in raisin color. And notice that all of these items have a price of $24.99 and a cost of $8 because I selected the checkbox that says price and cost from style. In other words, every item in the style will have the same price and cost. So we have now created a new style, and we have created 25 items that belong to that style.